And we, of course, are family members, FMs, and family members and friends for Simple. Reading this aloud, say this aloud, a prolonged understanding, good understanding, and clarity and clearness, very prolonged good understanding, clarity and clearness, about 100% of the time. Very prolonged duration, very good understanding and clarity and clearness. And for example, very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time. Very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time. Very excellent, fine, and good about 100% of the time. Very excellent, fine, and good about 100% of the time. And also very important biometrics, DNA, genetics, genotypes, phrenology, anthropology, biometrics, for example. And we're family members, FMs, and family and friends, and we have our organizations, groups, militaries, covenant sections, species, ethnic races, and species, for example, in our organization groups, militaries, covenant sections, and species, for example, so-called, oftentimes, for example, the absence of extreme prolonged notion, frightened, scared, and the absence of extreme prolonged notion, confusion, the absence of prolonged long duration, confusion, frightened and scared, very obvious and very apparent, and sort of a prolonged long duration, confused, about 0% here, and the absence of frightened or scared or confused, about 0%, frightened or scared or confused, about 0. Instead, about 100%, understanding, clarity, and clearness, understanding, and clearness, and calmness, about 100% of the time, very excellent, fine, and good, very excellent, fine, and good here, for example, prolonged long duration, calmness, understanding, clarity, clearness, and understanding, and calmness, about 100% of the time here, and reading this loud and prolonged long duration, excellent, fine, and good, and we're family members, FMs, and family friends, reading that book, little movie scripts, a book, little writing jokes out loud, for example, a book that are writing jokes out loud, and the man, individual person said that man, the particular, certain, specific, that certain, specific, particular book that are writing jokes, for example, the man, individual said, paraphrase, quotation, summarize, abbreviated, a lot of entertainment resource, entertainment news, a lot of gestures, motions, and movements, and a lot of laughter and giggling, comedy jokes, and different so-called sort of whatever, woo, yuck, whatever, and woo, wacka, whatever, maybe about that, maybe not about that, and different sayings or words and sayings or phrases, and resources, money, courses, supplies, materials, and resources, age, year, and we're family members, FMs, and family and friends. For example, for instance, so-called, very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time, very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time, very excellent, fine, and good about 100% of the time, very excellent, fine, and good about 100% of the time, excellent, fine, and good about 100% of the time. We're family members, FMs, and we're family members, FMs, and family members, FMs, and family and friends, for example.